Hi, I'm Dana the Artist, and let me start off by just saying I am in no way a growth channel. I'm not gonna sell you some dream. I am a humble artist who makes videos about video games with a touch of personal experience and planning on making more videos in the future about music and the other facets of art that I love. You squish it all together, and that's me, Dana the Artist. I'm not here to sell you some dream. I am still very, very small. I'm just here to tell you what I learned after a month of daily uploads and doubling my channel's sub count. Now, to start things off, we gotta go back to the distant year of 2015, when I began making short films for my comm media class. Upon the creation of this channel in 2017, I then uploaded the 3 finished short films that I made to this channel, which you can still view right now if you'd like. I made a video here and there until 2020 when COVID had happened and I started streaming, where I made my first highlight video of my playthrough of Billy Hatcher. In April 2021, I had started my first ever stream marathon, a marathon in correlation with my birth month, that being April, celebrating my favorite franchise, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my god, we got the Rouge the Bat in pink and the sweats in pink, my nigga. Like, there is no better drip than what I have dripping on me right now.
Enter Sonic Month. For Sonic Month 1, I played through every mainline Sonic game, at least that would release on a console. Anything from Sonic 1 all the way to Sonic Forces. The streams were a success. It was one of my biggest projects and actually kept a consistent growth going. I later uploaded 5 highlights from Sonic Month 1, but I couldn't get around to making any other videos as I sort of peaked with the final one being Sonic Adventure. Highly edited playthrough videos that had a lot of memes and animations thrown in, but they admittedly did not get the traction that I wanted, especially for the amount of work that I put in. For the next few months over the summer, I would upload podcast episodes of my, at the time, podcast, the Untitled Saturday Podcast, and more stream highlights. Easy stuff that were fun to make, but unfortunately didn't really gain an audience. These admittedly weren't the type of content that I wanted to make, that being video essays or video game reviews. So in the summer, after my local mall flooded and I found myself out of work for about 2 months, in September of 2021, I uploaded my first ever video essay, Persona 5 and the Inevitability of the End. It, at the time, did quite well, still being one of the most well-received videos that I had made that year. Only being one-upped by a very slapped-together Lego review I had made a couple months later.
Oh shit, he broke.
Even though I still uploaded some highlights and reaction content afterwards, video essays and more scripted content was the approach I wanted going forward. After 4 more large-scale videos, Sonic Month 2 had arrived. Sonic Month 2 had 3 focused videos unrelated to what I had streamed on Twitch, that being the handheld games, and I would say were a greater success, albeit because my audience had grown by that time, so more eyes were on my content. After Sonic Month 2, although I celebrated Sonic Month 3 on Twitch exclusively, there had been a drought from June 2022 all the way to July of 2023 as I was figuring my life out as a 20-something-year-old does. I focused more on stream, art, other things, but when the time came and I was inspired, I made the Animation Secrets of Super Mario Wonder, an analysis of the gameplay that we could see from the upcoming game Super Mario Wonder. And it finally happened. The video popped off. I wasn't sure how to approach the next video, but I knew the time was now to create more content. From August 2023 to February of 2024, I uploaded 10 installments to my new series, Danologues, a review series where I mix my goofy commentary with storytelling and some comedic skits. These videos would end up being the build-up to what I believe is my greatest achievement on the channel yet. Danologues, along with a pretty successful Christmas video, helped build up my editing skills and writing chops to basically prepare myself for what would be the ultimate marathon of videos. And so, after completing my most successful Danologues yet, the documentary on Bubsy 3D, and with a couple of weeks scheduling, it was time to prep for my biggest project yet, Sonic Month 4. In the weeks leading up to Sonic Month 4, I got started with the scripting process. I had already known going into this that it was going to be a big commitment, so I knew prep was necessary. During the writing process of the Bubsy 3D video, in my off time, I would jot down ideas for different videos for daily uploads. I started with a document a few months earlier in my off time with a bunch of ideas for Sonic videos. The truth is, my original intent with Sonic Month 1 back in 2021 was to do daily uploads of nothing but Sonic related topics on YouTube. However, for where I was with my YouTube channel and where I was with my editing chops, it just wasn't realistic. In 2023, I felt out of steam from Sonic Month 3, possibly have free riders to blame for that.
Worse than Unleashed, 100%, 100%. I think the real question is it worse than Forces? Yes.
And I knew from then, if I was going to continue this tradition, I either was going to finish by doing what I've always wanted to do.
Wave the swallow? Swallow's literally in her fucking name, nigga, you know we're smashing.
Or I would keep marathoning until it would be too late for me to do that original plan. And thank God I made that decision early on because I barely gave myself enough time to get this shit done. Let's get into the process. I wrote the majority of Sonic Month 4 videos in March leading up to the marathon. The animated intro came from my boy Buck, Corey Bannock Buck. Please go give him a follow on everything you can. Very talented artist and animator. And the Sonic Adventure 2 intro was pulled from a tutorial video on YouTube that I took a stream to modify for each and every episode. It's because of that most episodes were locked in their sequence of release. Though I'd end up breaking that sequence a couple of times, but we'll get into that. I had the initial idea of having an overarching story to connect all the videos together. I got the month-long marathon idea from Zoomzyke on YouTube, but I wanted to approach things a little bit differently from him. He had made some choices that I personally saw detract from viewership. A halfway checkpoint, a respectable write-off video, trust me, I had plenty of those, that didn't really relate to any specific engaging topic, and an hour-long finale that was titled Finale, which also doesn't grab as many viewers for the same reason. Thus, I knew I would have to dodge those pitfalls, while also making sure that I would pull the great ideas from Zyke, such as funny joke videos or short-form analyses. With these rules in mind, I got to writing for a couple days. All that mattered were my main points per video, and I could do the rest from there. To start recording was the next step. And of course, I would do these in order of their sequence because each day is coming up next, so I had to get a move on. I also had to make sure that I sequenced out the videos in a way that was engaging and kind of flowed together nicely. I had to keep people engaged. So starting with the first episode, it had to hit hard, and hit hard it did. The first video was my April Fool's episode, a throwback to the classic video by Guptil, aptly named Top 10 Hottest Female Sonic Characters. The original cut of the video actually had me counting down to Blaze the Cat, but my main man behind the cam, Jared, aka Gizway, gave me the idea to cut it off a little bit early just in case people didn't get the bit, or if they did get the bit and just knew I was repeating everything that had already been done by the GOAT Guptil. I'm pretty glad that we did that, as I think the flow of the video is a lot more fast-paced and I think worked. It did keep people engaged, even though there were a couple people in comments saying, "You didn't even do all 10! I'm sorry that I robbed you." And thanks to the video ending up retaining a lot of viewership, it actually reached over 2,000 views, which once again was a really good number for my channel size, being 4 times my sub count. It was reaching eyes. And I had recorded day 2 on that same day, which you can probably see with the camera quality. Day 2 was basically a prep video, kind of informing people what Sonic Month was in case they did actually subscribe from the last video, or if they just were interested in seeing the rest of it, I don't know. Definitely more of a write-off video, but I think it was necessary. Episodes 3, 4, and 5 were recorded on the same day. Episode 3 ended up being my most viewed video ever. A little behind the scenes here, but this actually is one of the only videos I explicitly didn't write for. The off-the-cuff commentary seemed to have worked. And thank God, I guess, because I was able to shift more of the pre-production focus over onto the editing side, which I think is what elevated the video so much and kept people watching. I wish I could have edited more videos in the same style and thoroughness as episode 3, but unfortunately, episodes 6, 7, and 8 would become the first hurdle in this month-long process, as I decided to record in a higher UHD setting on my phone and didn't realize that I was recording in HEVC instead of Premiere Pro's more favored H.264 format. So a mix of higher resolution with my longest recorded video yet, a joke read-through of the Sonic Extreme kids novel. Yeah, I ran into a lot of hiccups, almost too many to count. First off, stuttering, which is pretty normal in Premiere, so I've adapted. I drop my video files in, and I usually render them out, then trim and add additional edits, sound effects, and music to end the video's editing cycle. I then do a watch through and cut or add things as necessary. I couldn't even get past the initial render. Error messages, crashes, and my first blue screen ever. I was about 3 days ahead by day 2.
Oh yeah!
And when it came for day 6, I was barely able to export a shortened version of the video. After 3 days of struggling with exporting, I decided the best course of action was to record the video straight from Premiere into OBS and then edit that. And at the last minute that night, the seal was broken and I was able to finish just in time for the next day's upload. After wrapping up episodes 7 and 8, I was now only 2 days ahead, with my next big project being Danologue's episode 11, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I was able to write, record, and fully edit this one in less than a week. I was honestly impressed with myself, but I did have to back out of a plan last minute that I was supposed to be a part of for the weekend, and I did feel bad about that, but everything worked out okay, they were fine, and I finished the video, so it was worth it. The next videos rolled out with little to no problems, although I could already feel myself getting strained and tired, as I would record about 2 videos a day and go straight into editing the first of the 2. Then the next day, editing the second one, possibly recording another video, and then the cycle would continue. By the time episode 10 came, I was already getting drained. Not helped by the fact that episodes 12 through 14 weren't completed scripts. Still though, I pushed through and recorded episodes 10 through 15 all in one night, and I just got to editing. Very simple editing, but goddamn they were edited. Now that I was ahead again, I was able to work on my next big scale project, Danologue's episode 12, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Now, would you believe me if I told you this is my longest video essay yet, and I did almost all of it without a script? The behind the scenes process had me spitballing ideas with Gizway behind the camera. We weren't entirely sure how to approach the Onad situation, so we ended up jumping the gun a little bit, where we were supposed to kill him off in the last episode. We ended up just killing him off right there, as this was a big plot point, it was a bigger episode, and I figured to make it easier on myself for the rest of the month, I don't want to do more costumes changes, just get him out of there. Unfortunately though, all this sort of came to a crash as it was my birthday week. I was about to turn 25, but I knew what I had to do. I would come home, edit until I'd pass out in my chair, go to sleep, go to work, and repeat the same process every single day. So you best believe the times that I got invited out for my birthday throughout that entire week, I took a break from the computer and I enjoyed myself. But with taking that time out to be with friends and get litty, this did have its consequences. This resulted in a swapping of episodes at the last minute, with me recording what was supposed to be the birthday special episode 2 days early and recording, importing, and exporting, then uploading the video all before going to work on the 16th. I was dedicated to this shit. I'd make thumbnails on my breaks, or when taking a break from editing days. The grind was difficult, but I managed to finish my largest video yet, just in time to upload way too late and kill any possibility of the video being favored by the algorithm. But I am still really proud of that moment. I uploaded one of the most special videos that means so much to me on my 25th birthday. That's what I spent my 25th anniversary of existing on this planet doing, because this means something to me. I spent the day working on something that I loved and finishing and sharing it with people that I care about. And that was worth it to me. The final weeks of Sonic Month 4 were the same usual grind, but finally the hiccups had sort of ironed themselves out, and it was pretty smooth sailing from here on out. Though views started to trickle less and less with each upload, probably because I was slamming YouTube with video after video, not giving one the time to breathe. Each one was seemingly less edited than the last. But that didn't stop the growth. Don't mind me, but there's a lot of numbers here, so I'll be reading straight from the iPad for this one. From episode 11, I was fortunate enough to see a large amount of views, reaching 2,000 views in 5 days. Now, this had sex appeal on its side, so that helped. along with the meminess of it. Plus, it's April Fool's. Everybody loves a good April Fool's video. Anyone seeing it at the time would know the tone of what they're in for off the bat. But if they stayed for longer, they're treated to something subversive and might make them want to watch more from me. The next video to do numbers was my most successful ever, the life and death of Yuji Uekawa's art style, followed directly by another 1,000+ view video being the butt rock rant. Two completely different videos. One more informative, starting with an intro of me in front of the camera, and the other being PNG Tuber Dano ranting for literally just over a minute, nearly unedited. Both popped off for completely different reasons. The Yuji Uekawa video was a highly edited analysis type video, and as many of you may know or have pointed out, features the wrong artist's work in the thumbnail. Yes, I'm sorry. I pinned the comment that brings it up, the first one. They were very nice about it. I don't need to hear motherfuckers ranting about it anymore. And no, I'm not fucking changing it. Goku profile picture looking ass. The rant video is strongly opinionated and comes from a more negative stance, which I've come to realize is not the route I ever want to take the channel. People feed off your negative emotions. Man, you can kind of just set yourself up for failure with that. You kind of invite people just being mean-spirited and belittling. Going back to the Yuji Uekawa video though, this was by far my most successful video, gaining me 225 subs since uploaded at the time of writing this. This video alone skyrocketed my momentum, and I'm really grateful for the many people that enjoyed and decided to trust in me and stick around. At the time of writing, the video is now at 16,616 views, and it still gets around 50 views a day at the time of writing this. Something I never, ever thought I would see. Not this year, at least. If I had stopped after week 1, I could have already proclaimed that Sonic Month 4 was a success. But I wasn't done. My mindset was, if this was just the beginning, I mean, what could the real peak look like? It ended up being the peak, but we'll get to what came close in due time. Throughout the month, most videos averaged anywhere from 2 to 7 subscribers, which this alone was great for the size of the channel being at about 650 or so subs at the start of April. What was the real surprise for me was my Sonic Extreme video gaining 23 subs. I mean, like, maybe I gotta do more read-throughs. I don't know. Y'all know that video was a joke, right? My favorite analytic from the month was my accuracy on guessing a video's success based off of the thumbnail. I was able to properly guess 4 out of the top 5. The life and death of Yuji Uekawa's art style, which I was the most methodical about in terms of its thumbnail. Fixing Sonic and Smash, a simple design that I knew was striking enough and said enough to get the point across. The miraculous case of Sonic's eyes. As soon as I finished drawing that one, I knew it was a banger. I knew this is a clickable ass thumbnail. The real Sonic movie, and of course, top 10 hottest female Sonic characters, which, like, duh, sex sells. The video that I didn't anticipate doing well was the Sonic movie video. That one I had actually done a couple of different thumbnails and I chose apparently the right one. I think the video also just worked out with me doing the whole green screen bit, which was a last minute thing that I chose to do, and it was a little bit of a challenge to edit. I think that was probably one of the last editing hurdles that I had, but I made it work. I would say I had the most fun with that video anyway, because I had to go watch through the movie, take notes, then set up the green screen, record it with the green screen with my green glasses. Editing was also fun. That one was the most fun I had throughout the entire month, so I'm glad that that video did well. Sometimes it works out like that. As I alluded to earlier, unfortunately, the videos had a little bit of a lull in the middle of the month. I think it hurt the most with the big 3 Danologues episodes that peaked at around 600 views. Disappointing for sure, but I didn't do this project for views. I did it for me. I did it to tackle these topics that I've wanted to make videos on for years, and I did it to the best of my ability. I watched my sub count religiously throughout the month. Starting at actually closer to 600 subs, my channel then grew to 800. 4 days later, I hit 900. This was all thanks to a really good start of the month, though I wonder if I had sequenced a different video instead of my favorite Sonic game video, what more growth could I have seen? There was no point in dwelling on that though, as another 4 days later, while celebrating my birthday with the boys at 4:19 a.m., so close to perfect, I finally hit my year-end goal of 1,000 subscribers. We group hugged, we popped off. It was an amazing night. And even with the lull in the middle of the month, thanks to the last minute push of the 2 Sonic and Smash videos, my YouTube channel's sub count exceeded my Twitch channel's follow count. that being about 1263 on April 28th, just before the month's end. I then finished the month hitting 1,300 subs, having finished the month with a doubled sub count, 3 new patrons on Patreon, 30 completed videos, and an end to a tradition that I'm very glad I started in the first place. I also got enough watch time to become a YouTube partner in early May, which, once again, I can only thank you guys. So now let's get into what a lot of you probably clicked on this video for. What did I learn from this experience? Well, number one, bigger videos do not always equate to better performing videos. Let's be honest here, the algorithm is not your friend. It's not anyone's friend. I don't even think it's YouTube's friend. It's a lot of bullshit. And to be honest, sometimes it's just luck. That's all it is. I could make the greatest video I have ever made, and if I don't get it shared to the right people, I don't share it to the right platform, I don't get in touch with the right people don't watch it fully, I might just get fucked. And my videos have got decent viewership for my channel size when it was, at the start of this year, just under 400 subs. With something like the Bubsy video, I was fortunate enough that it got 4,000 views. 4,000 views is still fucking tiny. And that is still something to say, is that, like, don't hold yourself back with that mindset though. Because for me, I go, well, yeah, it's still tiny, but these are the steps you need to go in order to get to that higher level. So that's just something to keep in mind. Because I made videos like the Danologues episodes, and they did fine numbers in actuality for my content before Sonic Month 4. But when I hit such a peak so early on, yeah, it's a little hard to look and go, oh yeah, there's something that I spent 3 full days editing, writing, putting all these animations and stuff, doing the skits between me and Onad, and it got just under 500 views. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But you also have to remember, you're not just doing this for views. You really need to be doing this because you like it. If you're doing it for views and trying to get internet famous, you still have a child mentality and you need to do some self-reflection. A daily upload format for scripted videos cannot work if you are working full time. At least not without spreading you thin and having you prep things for like months in advance. I am fortunate enough that I work in an office job. So when I need time for a break, or I have time in between my projects, I can take some time on my phone and make a thumbnail real quick, or edit some of my scripts, what have you. I don't think a lot of people have that benefit, so it's not something that you can rely on, and I wouldn't say that it's necessarily healthy to be, oh, I have some free time to work on my other stuff, when you're going home and what are you doing? You're working on that other stuff. I think if I were to do another marathon, I would need at least 2 months in advance if I'm doing like a daily upload thing with scripted content, to the extent of something like the Uikawa video where it's fully edited, music's in, sound effects are in, memes are in there, animations are in there, all that sort of stuff. You would need probably 1 month for scripting if you're doing 30 videos, right? And another month for the recording and editing process. But you also need to stick to that schedule. I think if I were to do something like that, the plan would be do those things. You also have to have content ready for those months that you're not doing anything. Maybe let it be a slowdown month. That's why this time of the year, the earlier times when, you know, people aren't on as much, are kind of the best times to try something like this out. But I also banked on a character that has a big fan base that people actually want to hear about, and they're interested in this thing. And that is another thing, is you need to make topics that actually will interest people. And I think you have to believe in yourself in that if it's something that interests you, it probably has a niche of other people that interest it the same, or might turn heads. That's my mindset, at least, and how I went into this month. Another thing to keep in mind, especially for YouTubers or people who are trying to make content online, and I'm not going to say don't have talent, but maybe don't have the skill set that I have leveled myself up to, outsource or ask for help. I'm fortunate enough that I have a small, albeit it's a small circle, but I have a circle of people that I can reach out to for help or commission or whatever. Buck, I had do my intro animation for Sonic Month back in like 2022, I want to say, and I quite literally just used that. I chopped up some of the animations to make it squeeze into the intro jingle, or the level complete jingle from Sonic Adventure 2, and I put in some sound effects. And I was pretty fucking happy with it. The Sonic Adventure 2 level prompt I had taken from a tutorial on YouTube. Thank God for that tutorial, because there was a person on Twitter that I think wanted like $25 per animation. Fuck no. I was able to rip the guy's work from YouTube. He had it in his description, and I was able to just plug in what things I needed to change. There was like one thing I had to modify that was annoying, and it took me a stream to do it. That's the sort of stuff where if I can put in the extra work to do it, I'm gonna do it. But if I didn't have After Effects, a rip of After Effects albeit, and if I didn't have the resources that I have, I would probably have to just pay that guy a bunch of money. And that's how it would be. But because I have put my time and effort into getting better at these things, I don't have to. And I'm not saying that that's what you have to do, but I'm saying if you don't have the time to do that, or you don't want to, then you're gonna have to look at other people and collaborating with other people to make your project come to life. Also, shout out to Jared for doing the camera work. He has a DSLR camera, so for more of the cinematic shots, I can get him in here, we can make it work, and it does at least elevate the videos a little bit. He also will throw some ideas out whenever we're recording, and that stuff is really meaningful. If I had more time, or I had written these sort of things in, I probably would have collaborated with people within my server for more voiceover work. Shout out to Moxie, she voiceovered in one of my old Danologues episodes back in August. It's honestly pretty much never a bad idea to collaborate with other people. Also gets your name out there. Quality over quantity. I know this goes against the entire premise of this video, but looking at doing this again, or if I could teach you something if you wanted to try a project like this on your own, I would recommend trying to make every video as good as possible. And in that case, you need to give yourself more time. If you are unemployed, then realistically, you can only blame yourself for what you're unable to do, unless you have somebody breathing down your neck to go and, do fucking groceries every day or some shit. I don't fucking know. My point is, if you have the time, invest in yourself. That is the biggest investment, is time. And if you can invest that time to making good videos, to writing things that mean something, I think that will elevate each video. And realistically, you could do daily uploads and have them as good as the Uikawa video, but you need more time, more prep, and good ideas. Like I said earlier, I still love the Danologues content. I'm still really proud of them, but with some of the more concise and simpler ideas and themes actually popping off, it's completely changed my outlook on my content going forward. Don't rely on negative videos. Don't rely on clickbait, anger-inducing, rage bait type shit. When you bring out negativity or your ideas in a negative light, you are also inviting the discourse to come back negative. And I think that's something that people often overlook is it's the internet. It's the Wild West. People can say and do whatever the fuck they want. There's no repercussions other than you on the other side of the computer in your feels. And I'll admit, yeah, some comments really pissed me off or got me upset or in my feelings, but you kind of have to brush it off, and you have to know I invited this dialogue by putting out my negative comments out there. It can't be a one-way street. That's not fair. And that's not how a discussion works. And that's how the comment section works, really. This is a good one. I'm gonna read it because the way I worded it, I think is interesting. Hold on to those out-of-the-box videos and abuse the bait and switch. I never thought a video where I read for 20 minutes would end up being one of my most successful videos yet. So that's referring to the Sonic Extreme video, where it starts off with me discussing Sonic Extreme, the game that was canceled. I think I even put it in the title, something about Sonic Extreme, like the only release of it. And I completely flip it on its head when I go, it's a book. I show off the book, music fades away, I start reading, and I just read for 20 minutes. And people liked it. People actually enjoyed the reading part of it. They thought it was kind of funny. And that doesn't mean that like, oh, do that again, or I just need to make reading videos now. It means that there was something there that was memorable to people. And that's an important thing to think of and hold on to. Thumbnail game means a fucking lot, dude. I admittedly also took time out of my work to work on thumbnails, and I'm really glad that I did, but at the same time, there were some days when I would take a break from editing a video, just because I was like, God, dude, I've been working at the computer, I need a break. I'd like hang out with my mom in the living room, just on my iPad, working on thumbnails. Some of them, you know what video I thought was gonna do really well was the Many Faces of Eggman video. I thought that thumbnail was fun. You know, sometimes just having a bunch of shit, it's weird. Sometimes just having a bunch of stuff on a thumbnail works. I don't know how, but sometimes it does. In this case, it did not, and the video did not do nearly as well as I had hoped it would, especially because I think Eggman is fun, and I thought the discussion of Eggman was also fun. But hey, like I said, it's luck of the draw here. Some videos, even if you do guess correctly on, 4 out of 5 of the top 10 best viewed videos, there can be one that you thought was going to be in that top 5 and ended up not being anywhere close. If you're using Premiere Pro, never use HEVC. For the love of God, stay away. Stay the fuck away. My fucking monitors would shut off. My monitors would shut off during the Sonic Extreme video, whether I was rendering or I was just editing. I have a 4-monitor setup. They would shut off, I'd have the middle monitor, and then things would like distort, and there was only one time when it blue screened, but yeah, HEVC, Premiere, not a good mix. Balance work and life. This is a really big one, and once again, it has changed my mind on some stuff. I actually discussed this a couple years ago in my Persona 5 video. Time management is really difficult for me. I think it's really difficult for a lot of people. For me, I have a lot of issues with my perception of time. I have a lot of issues with what I deem worthy of my time usage. It is a complete mindset thing. But I think the craziest thing to come out of this hyperfixation month, as I could call it, is I was able to make and upload a video every single day, and I still managed to make time to go out, do all-nighters on like some of the weekends when I was supposed to be doing Danologues content. I went out and I got crazy. I got lit. It was my birthday. I turned 25. I had to. I have no regrets in doing that. It was actually like a life-changing experience, if I'm being real. I made time to go for runs, go for working out. Well, as working out as you can when you have to be at a desk all day. And that is living life. This editing shit, the computer shit, the streams, all that shit, that's another part of my life. But there are really important things when you step outside and touch grass. And finally, my last tidbit. If you want to grow your channel or succeed in your art form, whether it's videos or actual visual art or editing or music, poetry, whatever it is, I think the biggest thing that I could teach you on this platform at least, but in general, is you just gotta believe in yourself, man. Literally, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, you can't rely on anybody else to. Can I get an amen?
Hi, this is Dano from several years into the future. I should have recorded this back in June when I was recording everything else, but alas, I procrastinated, and here I am, yapping to you after getting dental work, and my jaw hurts. But I want to take this last segment to look back at some of the comments that I got throughout Sonic Month. The good, the bad, and the cringy. There's some fucking cringe. So let's have a look at the shit show, shall we? This is also to say, a lesson learned from months after the Sonic Month. Burnout is a real thing. Drink some water, take a step outside, heal, grow your hair out, meet some good people, it's okay to take a step away. Maybe I lost that momentum. We'll find out in the new year. Maybe I don't make videos as much as I'd like to. We'll have to wait and see. However, you matter most. That was a lesson I learned after Sonic Month. But anyway, let's get into the comments. On the smuttiest video of the month, Mei Nishikawa 3730 said, "You, sir, are a real man to admit the truth others may not agree with. That being said, lions do not concern themselves with the opinion of sheep. Can't say I know Sonic girls that well, but YouTube thought this was close enough. Cough, Carmelita Fox, cough." I don't know who Carmelita Fox is, but I think you're a real man for just, throwing that shout out in there. Sinmugen 8210 says, "Do it. Breed the rabbit mom." Alright. Twisty6 says this. "This is the absolute peak of art. The peak of all creation. God created Earth for this alone." And you're damn right, Twisty. You're damn right. Great video, man. Your style is great, and I love the stylistic thumbnail. The art at 135 was actually done by Satoshi. No idea why, as the era was way before my time. As the pinned comment suggests, I recommend reading the article on Okana and his style. He tends to go under the radar compared to Uekawa. Keep up the work, though. This right here is how you comment and, in a way, critique someone's video. This to me was super kind, genuine, still had something nice to say, but also corrected where it was needed. Thank you, Amro Games. This is comment etiquette.
Yes!
Good video. Ever thought of making a video about the voice actors? I may sound irrational, but I have a burning hatred for Roger Craig Smith as Sonic. I pray every day that he gets removed from the role. Every day. That's how you know he's serious. He does it every day, every day. His interpretation of Sonic is just not Sonic at all. And I thought maybe Ian's good writing would fix that, but no. He's just not Sonic. And almost the whole world can agree that Ryan and Junichi are the best Sonics. Now, while I did comment back saying you're so real for that vid coming out regarding voice actors very shortly, stay tuned, and the video did come out, I will say I don't actually think that Ryan Drummond is the best one, though I do appreciate him for what he was at the time. He was my favorite as a kid for sure, because Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure as well will always be iconic for his reprisal. But I will say I still firmly believe that Jason Griffith, he's the guy. He is Sonic. In the Sonic Extreme video, there were some pretty nice comments. Miles Fernando said, "Subscribing early because I know you'll be too popular to see a comment like this soon, lol. Your shit is incredible, dude. Editing, lighting, writing, all of it. Cannot believe you're this underrated. Honestly, keep gassing me up like this, fellas. It definitely strives me to keep going. But also, I'm sorry that I haven't made a video in like 5 million years." 42PL says, "Good vid, instant sub and no regrets. Except hearing you go on an I streak, you psycho." Yeah, I have no regrets. On the Sonic 3 Danalogs video, Pickle Splits says, "I thought you had way more subs than 900. This video is so high quality. Earned a sub." I always still find it so funny when people would comment stuff like this, because they had no idea that like just a month prior I was at 600, and a couple months prior I was at like 400, and I was stuck from like 100 to 200 for years. So I always appreciate these comments, so thank you. In the Sonic plush video, everybody had commented happy birthday, so thank you to everybody for the birthday wishes. That was very kind. In my Shadow the Hedgehog should have stayed dead video, Ivy Envy says, "I never clicked like on a video so fast. I've been saying this for years at this point. I just hope Sega can do something with Shadow that makes undoing his death worthwhile. But I'm not holding my breath. He was pretty cool in 06 though." Ivy Envy, I'm happy to say, I think they're on the right track with Sonic X Shadow Generations. I think they still almost in like a new generation, as it were. They've kind of wrapped up his story again. Maybe in a way that like wasn't necessary, but in a way that is meaningful to the whole Sonic Generations idea. So yeah, maybe this Shadow the Hedgehog video is a bit dated. Rez Aching, on my Sonic Adventure 2 Forever Iconic Danologues episode, says, "Sonic Adventure 2 was the first game to ever make me cry. Your video is another time that happened." Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed. In the Eggman character analysis video, Sonic Zuitomi 5448 said, "Yo, what kind of power is this? Good video quality, but not many views." I know. Okay, here's a weird one that I knew I had to highlight. I did not react to this. I did not do anything because this made me super... This is the first time I ever have had a comment actually make me feel fucking uncomfortable. They said, "Hi, love your vids. Keep up. Thumbs up, heart emoji. Sonic Rush is amazing, period. Enter. By the way, I like when you flex your biceps a bit when you move your arms explaining and or grabbing stuffs. Haha." Don't ever comment shit like this. Please. Please. Like, that shit made me so uncomfortable. This is a cute string of comments. Blake the Runner Official says, "Man, your videos always have the best camera quality. Like, damn." To which I said, "Thank you. Some videos are shot on a fancy DSLR, like the first 2 episodes of the month, but this one was just my phone camera. I just use a lot of different lighting to keep things crisp and colorful." He replied, "Well, definitely deserves some recognition. Keep up the good work." Brandon Williams 6119 then replied, "Not to mention the handheld system in the background running the game while he talks about it is very soulful and makes the videos comfy to watch." thank you. I'm really glad that somebody appreciated the attention to detail, because it was something that I had kind of come up with on the spot. So, thanks, Brandon Williams 6119. Thank you a lot. When I did my Sonic Speed Paint time-lapse video, a lot of people complimented the art, saying it was great art, very impressive, and that it's amazing, and just really cool to look at. But also, people said that they were sad to see Sonic Month end, and that was really bittersweet in knowing that this truly was a success of a project. Finally, for the last video in the Sonic Month Pantheon, with 2 L's says, I wish I could put into words just how much I love Sonic. Not in a weird way, by the way. And there were some comments that really spoke to me, but I want to read this one from Relaxed Hoodie 7309. I turned 25 in November. I recently got back into the franchise in 2020. I checked out the franchise in 2013-2014 because of Sonic Boom. It wasn't what I grew up with, but when I got a girlfriend in October of 2019, dated all the way through to the end of December, I stayed at her place for Christmas break and we both were watching The Office on her phone. She went to the bathroom. For some odd reason, I looked through her messages and saw she was planning to do stuff with a guy outside of state. It broke my heart. I wanted to forget and forgive at first. She dropped me off back at my place New Year's Day. She ghosted me and ended up getting back with an ex. I was heartbroken and I just needed someone to hang with. So I hung with a friend. We went to see the Sonic movie for Valentine's Day. It reminded me of my childhood, and later that day I bought a Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure. It was a healing experience for me. I thank this fantastic game franchise and all the wonderful people in this community. The Sonic Symphony in Chicago was awesome, and I can't wait for the future. Now, before I end off this video, I have to thank each and every one of you that supported me during Sonic Month and continues to support me even after I haven't made content in several months. I don't want to talk about it, but alas, burnout is a bitch. Thank you to everybody in the comment section, whether you posted cringe on main or you posted horny on main. It was all appreciated, and getting a little glimpse into other Sonic fans and other gamers, points of views, even, having my family, my uncle, who I talk about in a couple of videos, chime in and show his gratitude for the fact that those memories still live on with me, is something so special. And I have to thank you all, because at the end of the day, you can make videos every single day, you can try and play the algorithm, but without the people there watching, the people there looking for the stuff that you're interested in, I mean, you're kind of just in an echo chamber. So thank you all. To end things off, I do have to thank my Patreons. Holding it down still, like I said, after I have not been making content, this video is sponsored from our sponsored tier patron, Moxie Duckling, or Moxie Dumpling, whichever one you'd like. We also have Y Guy, we have Bato of the Water Tribe, we have Greedy Melons, we have Rez Aching, or Dr. Egg Whites. Yeah. And I think that is everybody. The fact that you guys still stayed subbed for most of that time this year, you guys have helped me out. There have been times where I am broke, and that Patreon money has helped me, and I'm sorry that I haven't been able to post as much. I quite literally planned out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take June off, or I'll take May off, go back in June. Or I recorded all of this video, wrote it all. Not this last part, but yeah, kind of fucked up and didn't hold myself accountable to my schedule that I created. But there's a lot of extra stuff. I had health issues with my leg, and I had to go to physio for a couple of months around that exact time. And yeah, Fortnite addiction is real. So, hey, I appreciate you guys still supporting me. More content to come, but I am working on a lot of art and music projects at the moment, so stay tuned. And thank you again for watching. May you learn something from this video that you can place in your own hands and use to your own advantage. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.